So we're going to do some pretty basic annotations over this since the whole lesson is about chronological order and we're going to end up doing a timeline. What we're going to do is we're going to read through this and we are going to highlight the different areas where we see dates so that when it's time to make a timeline, we can go back and very easily find the dates and the important information that pertains to those dates. Okay, so let's go ahead and start from the top. The Revolutionary War began in 1775 and is sometimes referred to as the American Revolution or the U.S. War of Independence. It was a war for independence from Britain. There were several factors which led to the Revolutionary War, beginning with the British trying to overtax the colonists in America. In 1770, many of the colonists protested against the British because they were being forced to give money to the government in Britain, yet they had no say or vote in that government. This is called taxation without representation. Okay, so here we have our first date. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our little highlighting tool up here and we are going to highlight 1770 and then taxation without representation. Highlight. There we go. We'll get through this, guys. Okay, there we go. Moving on. The protest led to more violence in 1770 when the British soldiers fired at the colonists, killing 5 men. This became known as the Boston Massacre. A few years later, the British placed a tax on tea, and the colonists had no choice to pay it because there was only one company selling tea. In protest of the unfair tax, several people from Boston were dressed as Indians, technically Native Americans, went aboard some British ships and dumped the tea into the water as another protest. This became known as the Boston Tea Party. The British became angry and attempted to pass stricter rules, but the colonists resisted and war began. Okay, so we have 2 more things that happen again in 1770. So let's go ahead. We'll do orange this time. Okay, we'll highlight 1770, and for whatever reason, I can't get the hang of this. All right, we had our Boston Massacre. Was it really a massacre? I mean, 5 people died. That's sad, but it doesn't seem like massacre per se. Then we have our Boston Tea Party. So we'll highlight that as well. Okay, so far we have 3 things that have happened in 1770. Taxation without representation, the Boston Massacre, and the Boston Tea Party in that chronological order. Okay, next paragraph. The Continental Army was formed with George Washington as its commander-in-chief. On June 17th, the first fighting took place at the Battle of Bunker Hill. The army killed many of the British soldiers during the battle, but it ended in a British victory, which only motivated the colonists to further fight for their independence. Due to this support, the Declaration of Independence was written, but the words themselves did not lead the British to give up. Instead, the British sent more troops to America to try to stop the rebellion, and 34,000 of them landed in New York, causing Washington's troops to evacuate the city across the Delaware River. However, Washington fought back, crossing the Delaware again. With a surprise attack against the British on Christmas night during the Battle of Trenton. All right, so we're getting more into some different dates here. So now we've got June 17th. This is still, 1770. I'm going to go back to yellow. We're going to be basic. So on June 17th of 1770, we've got the Battle of Bunker Hill. And then we have our Declaration of Independence taking place. And the Battle of Trenton. All right, guys. So this is as far as we are going to go for the timeline for this. I want y'all to go through and highlight the rest of the important dates for the remainder of the article. All right, if you have any questions or you get stuck on anything, go ahead and let me know.